Let's mute. Welcome everybody to ESC Fan TV. We are officially 55 days away from the Eurovision Song Contest final in Turin, people. That's right, that is not long at all until we get to live and breathe the 66th Eurovision Song Contest. I am so excited about this, and this is our commencement of the journey to Turin, people. Welcome to ESC Fan TV. Over the next number of weeks, taking you all the way into May, our little panel are going to tell you what they think about all of the competing entries. That's right, we're going to give you our opinions live, so there's no going back. And what most importantly, we want your opinions. Excuse me. So we want you to join the chat room. We want you to tell us what you think. And most importantly, we want you to like this show. You can dislike it if you hate it. That's cool too. But most importantly, we want you to interact with tonight's show. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think of the songs. And of course, we need to tell you what those 5 songs will be. And in case you're wondering when we're going to do our shows, here you go. It's done all for you. So we start tonight with episode 1, Italy, Slovenia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and the Czech Republic. And we're back on Wednesday with Albania, Denmark, Ukraine, the favourite to win currently, Moldova and Latvia. Taking it all the way to episode 6 at the beginning of April. And of course, there's a ton more coming because there's a lot of entries that aren't even covered there, people. Let's say a very good evening to our panel. We're going to start with the king and queen of ESC Fan TV. How are you, Elliot and Martin? How are things? Of course I'm joking. Let's go to the real. Well, you can work that one out for yourself, my friend. Let's go to the real king and queen of ESC Fan TV. It's Phil and Michelle. How you doing, my friends?
Hello, we're all right. Yeah. We're glad that all the songs nearly are in and we're all raring to go and ready for the build-up.
Yeah, it's a good year this year. Plenty of diversity, so it's going to be an interesting contest.
I don't think diversity's in it.
It's a diverse year, that is absolutely for sure. That's for sure. Right, good to see you. Let's go and say a very good evening to Martin from the Let Me Be the One blog and podcast. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Looking forward to sort of saying what we all think about all these songs. So first one and then another 38 to go.
Yes, it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, a few more than that. From Martin, we're going to say a very good evening to Cyprus. Cyprus is definitely calling tonight. It's not Czech Republic, even though he is representing El Czech Republico. It's Oben. How you doing, my friend?
Good evening, Europe. And as you can see, me, Domi, and me are attending as a group, as a trio today, today's show. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's kick it off. I cannot wait because this journey that starts today with this show signifies that Eurovision season and competition and the contest is on.
Exactly. Very good evening to Elliot. How are you doing?
Evening. I'm very good. Like I said, it's the start of the season. We have to put our money where our mouth is and all feel very smug or very stupid come May. Can't wait. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's usually very regretful I think, from our predictions. Let's be honest. Last but definitely not least, and I feel like I haven't said this for a while. Very good evening to my co-host Tom. How you doing, my friend?
Hey Stu, great to be back. And nice to see you've had a bit of a facelift as well. Loving the opening titles, and massive thanks to Sean designing them as well. They look absolutely amazing.
They sure do. Yeah, as we said, big thanks to Sean. Right, Tom's going to be in the chat room chatting away to all you chatters, so give him some love. And we're going to crack on with tonight's show. 5 songs, the first of which we're going to start where we left off in 2021. We're going to start with Italy. So Italy have participated 46 blooming times. They've won 3 times, of course, back in 1965, 1991. Who can ever forget that? 1990, sorry, not 1991. They hosted in 1991. And, of course, in 2021, last year with Måneskin and Zitti e Buoni. They are represented by a very familiar face, people. They are represented from 2019's Italy. Soldi with Mahmood, of course, who sang a wonderful, wonderful hit, Soldi, back in 2019, which, until a certain Duncan Lawrence came along, was like one of the biggest selling songs of all time. Brividi, though, is a little bit different. It's definitely different to Soldi, for sure, and it's very different to what Italy won with last year. We start with an emotional ballad, and it really explores the insecurities of people who don't know how to love. It's just been drawn to sing at number 9 in the grand final. And I want to know what the panel think. So let's start. I'm going to start with Phil and Michelle, because Phil and Michelle, for those who've been regular fans of ESC Fan TV, and before we start, I should just mention, if you're new to ESC Fan TV, well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. These are just Eurovision fan opinions. You may like them, you may not like them. We're going to give you our opinions, warts and all. Phil and Michelle followed the Sanremo contest right the way through that entire week. So are best placed to tell us what they think of Mahmood and Blanco. Tell us your opinions.
Well, to be honest, when we were watching Sanremo, it wasn't my favourite song. But
our favourite songs didn't get through to the final sort of thing.
No, but I mean, it's grown on me a lot, and I think normally that's a bad thing. But when you compare this ballad to the other ballads in the contest, it's really unique. It's got a really unique sound. It's not a formulaic ballad in any sense. It sounds like nothing, and they sing it beautifully. It is a really good ballad. I think it's the best ballad in the contest.
Oh, that's controversial. But yeah, again, at Sanremo, this was not my favourite song, and I was like, oh. But when you hear all the songs in the competition with this song, it does stand out. It is unique, and it's unusual to have 2 men singing to each other the way that they sing each other. I mean, I'd love it if Phil looked at me the same way as Mahmood looks at Blanco, Blanco looks at Mahmood. You know, they really mean it. Why don't you do that? Yeah, I'm not like that. And it does it. I think it will stand out, and I think where they've been drawn as well, it's not a bad draw. It's all right, but I think it'll do really well.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, it's one of the favourites to win, of course. I think it's second favourites to win right now. And, you know, when you think of Italy in Eurovision, especially post-2011, when they returned after such a long hiatus, they finished in the top 10 8 times. They've only finished outside the top 10 twice. That takes some doing. And I just wonder whether that really comes down to the competition, Sanremo, standing alone and being a massive competition in Italy, regardless of Eurovision. For years, there was absolutely zero connection. Martin, this has the potential to win for Italy again. It's high in the bookmakers, it's high in the betting, and it's going to be stunning on stage. What are your thoughts on this entry? How do you think it will be staged, and how do you think it might do?
Well, starting with how do I think it might do, I think that this, normally hosts don't really want to win. This year, I think they've got a really, really good chance of winning. This is my number 1. Unless Azerbaijan tomorrow come in with something out of this world, it will probably still be number 1 tomorrow evening, for me anyway. And I think this year is going to be like 2011, when they came back, because I think it's fairly even. There's no euphorias or satellites or anything that's outstanding or far ahead of anything else. And there's several that could easily win this. I think this is going to be perhaps more jury than televote, but then again, San Remo, there's more televote in the final 3 sections. So it's done it all. And I really love this song. Great emotion between the two of them. If you watch the San Remo performance, you've got Mahmood, who's now the veteran, even though he's only 29. And you've got Blanco, who's just like incredible, thinking how young he is. And his stage presence is superb. So I think this is going to be an absolute wow on final night. 9th, as Michelle was saying, 9th's not a bad draw to have. If you were drawn in the first half of the final and you got number 9, or and you were one of the favourites, number 9 is potentially one of the slots they might give you. So I think it's still open for Italy to win, and I'd be delighted to see this take the trophy again, and it would give Italy another chance to actually have a Eurovision when it's not affected by the pandemic.
Oh yeah. That's part of the Eurovision ESC Fan TV bingo, by the way. Pandemic. If you had pandemic on your square, it's now time to take a very large sip of whatever drink you may be drinking. And if you haven't got a drink, people, go and get yourself a drink. Right. Let's delve a bit deeper into this. So it's rare for a Eurovision country to want to win twice. But when you look at Italy's standing in Eurovision, they very rarely have a bad year. And this is absolutely going to be a great year for Italy, as we would expect. Oban, this is so stunning on stage. Their vocals are so incredibly outstanding, and they sing so well together. How are Italy going to beat what they've done in San Remo, and can you see how this being staged in any other way other than what we saw in the San Remo competition?
I mean, in all fairness, there's huge room to improvement, because San Remo is basically a live concert. Like, it's not really, it's the stage and everything is for the auditorium. Yes, it's televised. Yes, it's put it on radio. So I don't think it's gonna look anything like it was on San Remo's stage. It was just a concert for live audience, and that's it. But here they're coming for a TV show. So Eurovision, it's more than TV show, then it's a live concert. So excuse me. So I have huge expectations, and I think Italy takes this very seriously. I think their absence is also because how much they take it very seriously, because they wanted to do so well all the time. So I think they're coming for us, and I have to give it to the guys, to the boys. They are one of the very few acts that we watched throughout the whole national selection. You could see when they're performing, they're not acting, they were just living their song. They meant every single word, and it's just, I have 3 songs this year that gives me Brividis all along for 3 minutes, and Brividi is one of those 3. And we have the second one also tonight, we will discuss later. But this song just breaks my heart and carries me along for 3 minutes, and I'm all there with them for 3 minutes long, not short, not 2 minutes 59 seconds. It's 3 minutes. They captivate me.
Thank you, Oban. I saw in the chat room someone talking about high fashion. I mean, that's a great way to describe Italian entrance to Eurovision. High fashion, people. Yeah, serious couture. I agree, Amir. And thank you for keep those comments coming in, people. Thank you for sending them through. We do appreciate it. And of course, anything you say, we're going to shove on screen, but keep it clean, people. That's all we ask. Not really. Yeah, sorry, but not sorry. Elliot. Italy. I mean, this is at the top of most people's scorecard at the moment. They look stunning. They're phenomenal together. Mahmood, I'm very shocked to see him back in the contest. When you talk to a lot of people about bops and bangers at Eurovision, most people will have Soldi at the top of their list, or at least in the top 5. Yeah, exactly. But this is very, very different. Is it nice and good and pure for Mahmood to come back with something completely different to what we experienced in 2019?
Yeah, I do think that is good, and like a lot of the artists who came back this year, who've tried in the past or represented in the past, did come back with very different things, and I think it is important to show their diversity. As Michelle said, song 9, also good slot to have. Since 2015, every song that's performed in song 9, bar the UK, has finished inside the top 10. The only two that haven't was Suri and James Newman. So, the thing is, though, I think, and I say this a lot with Italian entries, I think this is hyped up and really being pushed because it's Italy and it's in Italian. I feel very little to this song. It's not a bad song. The piano in it is lovely. I think the contrast in their voices are lovely. I just find it very one note after the first minute. I know it's important, and I think the story is phenomenal. But as a contender to win, no. It's low top 10 for me. It will do well. But a lot of people are saying this is the obvious winner, and it's not. I'm sorry. It will do very well, and they can be very proud of this entry. It's a very credible host entry. I don't think Michelle. I don't think Michelle's doing the back-to-back either. But I don't think Italy is doing, the double. Sorry, it's not bad, but it's not one I've actually listened to much on Spotify at all. I don't go back to this song, but it's not a bad song. It just doesn't keep me engaged.
Thank you, Elliot. And Tom, what are your thoughts on Italy this year? Can you see a double on the cards?
Can't see a double, but I think, it's going to do well, isn't it? I think this is going to do really well. I reckon when people suggest that, a 2011 scoring, possibly not actually out of the realms of possibility, where they win the jury vote but don't necessarily perform as high on the televote, potentially. But I like it. It's got a lot of heart. It tells a very important story. It's nice to see Mahmood back as well. And I think the two voices really complement each other. And that's so important because I think we have seen duets that go to Eurovision where, how can we put this? The chemistry on stage is not what one would expect. Verona. Whereas this actually works really, really well. And they should get one of the best placings that a host has had for many years out of it. And yeah, I think it's going to do well.
Thank
you,
you,
put
Tom.
10 quid on it?
Not yet. I'm hedging my bets this year. I'm going to hold fire just because there's a few songs that are, straggling behind. I want to hear them all first. Okay, there you go. That's Italy. We're going to move on now to Slovenia. Slovenia with LPS with Disko. Slovenia themselves have participated 26 times. Last year, they were out with Anna Soklic with the song Amen, which sadly finished 13th in the semi-final. Yes, it was a non-qualifier. In fact, Slovenia have rarely done that well, to be honest. They came 7th in 1995 and 2001, but really haven't done much since. Disko are a very much retro disco era vibe. They've been drawn in the first half of semi-final 1, and they're very much influenced by soul, pop, funk, blues, rock, and jazz. Now, we're talking about diversity at Eurovision. This is very diverse. Let's hear what my panel have to say. We're going to start with Elliot on this one. Elliot, this, by the way, people, we're going to have ESC Fan TV Awards at the end of March, the end of April, sorry. And there is a category about best retro vibe. I suspect we might be seeing this one. What are your thoughts on this, Elliot?
Yeah, don't remind me of the nomination because Phil said when he put his in, he doesn't regret his choices. So I'm trying to think of all the kooky songs we've had this year, which are now just going to magically appear as nominations in God knows what category. Can't wait. Yeah, LPS, otherwise known as Last Pizza Slice. Love that name. I think that's a brilliant band name. They are very good. Like, you got to remember, they came through the EMA Fresh round, so they started off in around the 24 and then have won a national final with, I think in total it's 40 songs. And they've come out and won and sang 5 times and won it all, which is immensely impressive. It is catchy, it's very retro, it stands out. His voice is very strong. They have a bit of a cool vibe. The problem is the negatives do outweigh the positives in a competitive sense of this song. He's a bit monotone, a bit bland on stage. Like, he looks a bit nervous and scared, and I just kind of like want him to loosen up and enjoy it a bit more. The ballad part is kind of a weird contrast. I'm not sure if I really like it and think it really works. And yeah, it's just, I think it's all just a bit awkward on stage at the minute, but there are some people who will really vibe with this, and if you like a retro sound, this is the song for you. So at the minute, I don't have it in the final, but I won't count it out completely. But yeah, like the fact they've got through a very intense national final is incredible. And no, Michelle, I do not need a hug. I need gin. But no, good song. I think it's narrowly going to miss out.
Yeah, me too. In fact, if anyone's listening, please send help. I need alcohol right now. Thank you, Elliot. Talking of which, I mean, there's a lot of love coming through for Slovenia, and that's great to see. They've only qualified 4 times in the last 10 years to the final. And when they have qualified, they've not done particularly well. But, and a huge but, they tend to qualify when they sing in Slovenian. So, the positive vibes are definitely in. Phil and Michelle, you like a bonkers act. This is definitely on the bonkers spectrum. We are seeing here something very different for Eurovision. I kind of feel like, and Elliot's right, huge amount of songs this year in all national selections. I feel like we've gone national selection crazy this year. 40 songs or so in Slovenia. This is very different. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I feel like, look at the little boys all going to the prom in the little suits and the little dicky bows, and they're all so cute. Oh, and then they sing lounge music, and you're all sort of going like this to it, and there's something about it because they're only young, and you think, you know, oh, they're just so cute, and they're singing the song, and it's nice, and it's just cute. It's cutesy, and I don't normally like cutesy, but it's like, oh, I like cutesy.
Well, I think this is a really underrated song, to be honest. You know, I really like this. It's a good punky sounding, but you know, yeah, it's a bit retro, but it's a bit different. The only thing I think that might be a problem is it's not that different to Eat Your Salad, and I think
yes, it is. You're deluded. Deluded. Of course it is. You need to wash your ears out.
But anyway, I don't think it's going to stand out well enough.
I think
maybe.
If you get 40-odd-year-old women voting, going, oh, look at the cute little boys who remember their little boy all dressed in a little suit, but these can sing.
But I like it. I do like it. It's good bop.
It's cool. Yeah. It's cool, and we're not cool.
And I think they perform it well.
I like it.
Thank you, Phil and Michelle. Oban, can this kind of genre ever do well in Eurovision? Because until now it hasn't, but could this be the year that all things change?
I highly doubt. I don't want to predict anything, but I'm gonna say this. It almost feels inappropriate how much I like this song and the band. It's just like, I freaking love how mature they look, but they're also so young. But they're like, it looks like this, like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like your neighborhood kids. They come together, they put on a show for their families, and it's like they dress up, they try to act adult and tough and big, and on top of this, they're cute, right? So it's like, is it appropriate if I hit on this guy or not? It was like, it's just like so. I freaking love it. I love the energy. I love the charisma. I love the calmness. So, and I think the calmness definitely will stand out when everybody's just like jumping and pyros and like dances and like sexy costumes and like leotards and everything. And these guys will come on the stage and be cool and still and calm and reassuring for the older public.
Thank you, Oban. Thank you very much. There's a lot of love for Slovenia. There really is. Martin, let's see if we can make it a 4th.
Let's see. Italy was my number 1. After Azerbaijan tomorrow, this is going to either be my 38 or 39. I'm not sharing any love for this at all. To be honest, if the bloke on the keyboard shaved his beard off, they could have easily said they're all 14 and gone to junior Eurovision in Armenia later on this year. They look that young. It's okay. He was very, as Elliot was saying, he was very nervous in the lead singer, so that might improve things. And it's an okay gig performance. I think Slovene this year, because it's such a personal message to them about what's happened in their past. I'm not sure if that's going to translate either. And also, because it's in semi-final one, I think there's so many more stronger songs than this. So it's not bad. It's not, I listen to it on playlists, but I'm not really listening to it. So for me, it's pleasant, but utterly forgettable. And that's why it's right down the bottom of my list. So sorry, guys, everyone else in the room and on the chat room, but yeah.
There you go. As Joe says, cruel Martin. No. It's a game of opinions, and Martin's entitled to his opinion, as we all are. Very mixed reception tonight, which is great for Slovenia. I was slightly concerned that this might be at the bottom of everyone's playlist. I think it'll do okay. I think it's an improvement for Slovenia. I think Slovenia really went to great lengths to try to improve their national selection this year. And when you do that, you want to see a response. And I'm really, really delighted for what Slovenia is sending. Tom, you love a bit of disco.
Work with me on this, Steve. Work with me on this, Steve, right? They are to American, I don't know, pop rock music. They're the Hanson of Slovenian lounge music. Come on, seriously. You look at them, it screams Hanson. I'm looking at them and I just can't get that image out of my head. If they had blonde hair, you'd swear you'd turn the clock back sort of like 20 years. This is a fantastic song. This has so much going for it. It's quirky, it's unique. And do you know what the best thing is? It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And everyone knows that a good Eurovision song has a bit of controversy in there as well. And I think that is so important. It's a great bop. And let's face it, there's going to be an awesome dance remix coming, surely, of this. And the guys at Seventh Heaven must be doing something, or someone must be, throwing some beats down, which would really, really make this go with a swing in Euroclub. This is a bit of Slovenian class. What's not to love?
You know what? If the Seventh Heaven boys can make a bop out of Sound of Silence in Australia, they can achieve anything. There is some absolute bops going on there, guys. If you're watching, keep up the great work. By the way, there are tons of new people commenting live tonight. Thank you for joining ESC Fan TV. If you're new to ESC Fan TV, this is all about fan opinions. We're all just Eurovision fans. So you need to comment too. We want to hear your opinions. So send them through on the chat room. We'll put them on screen. That's how the game works. Right, there you go. That is Slovenia. And do you know what I think we're going to do for the semi-finalists? We're going to ask our panel to give us a thumbs up if they think they're going to qualify, thumbs down if they think they won't, and on the fence, not really sure, and I'm not going to stick my neck out and really give an answer. There we go. So in 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, so very mixed. Very, very mixed. 50-50 split on Slovenia. So that's promising. Right, let's move on. Moldova next. Moldova stepped out. It's Montenegro, sorry. Not Moldova. Montenegro stepped out of Eurovision in 2020. Of course, it was cancelled. And again, they stepped out in 2021. They're represented this year by Vladana with the song Breathe. Tom will remember the last time Montenegro were in Eurovision. It was D-Mol with, what song was it?
Heaven.
There you go.
What heavenly music they made.
Yeah. Sadly, though, Montenegro haven't really achieved much at Eurovision to date. They're hoping that's all going to change this year. The past 10 years, Montenegro have only qualified twice, so it's not great. However, Breathe is a dramatic yet beautiful ballad, which transitions nicely from ballad into a kind of a mid-tempo pop. Let's find out what our panel have to say. Martin, did Breathe give you air? There you go, nice little pun to start tonight.
Very nice. She is an incredible singer, and there is something about her that there's some stage presence, because I've seen her perform it live, and you do watch her, even though she's on her own. The problem is with this song is that for the first 2 minutes, you can sort of ignore it. It's really only the last minute that sort of really packs a punch. And a live performance I saw that was sort of like with online that was in a sort of bar venue. All you could hear for the first couple of minutes was people talking. So I could imagine that happening at, say, a promo party, because it's happened before. London Eurovision party was somebody who had a slow song that only built up slowly. And I don't think there's enough there to actually make this a qualifier. I love her song. I love the song. I love her singing, but it's just not enough, really. That's the video is really cool, and it depends what she wears. Because if she wears the headgear, that would be memorable. But yeah, it's one of those. I think unfortunately Montenegro are going to be ending up only in the semi-final again, which is a shame.
Thank you, Martin. I mean, she's in the second half of semi-final 2, which includes Belgium, Czech Republic, which we're going to talk about later, Estonia, Ireland, North Macedonia, that's up next, Poland, Romania, and Sweden. So there's actually, bar Poland and Belgium, there aren't any ballads. That's quite up-tempo. Is that going to play in their favour? Let's go to Elliot on this.
I mean, I'd class Sweden as a ballad as well, to be honest. Like, that's not exactly Cornelia throwing her hair around, is it? Well, she does at one point. The strongest thing about this song is her. She sings it fantastically. It's very personal, as we said. Like, it was wrote the day after she lost her mum to COVID, and it's inspired by her losing her mother. So it's very personal. But I have to agree with Martin. Like, I don't know what she's going to do on stage. She could just be stood there for the first 2 minutes, and if it doesn't engage you, you're gonna tune out. And if ballads aren't your thing, you're gonna switch off very quickly to this. It does kind of feel like they're trying to do what Tamara Tedesca did for North Macedonia. Like, she had this powerful ballad and she caught your attention and it somehow worked. I don't see the same here. I think juries will, respect her voice and will appreciate it if she nails it, and I have no fear that she won't. I'm just not sure, and some of the rhyming is quite lazy as well at points. It's like, I can't even remember it, but I just know it's like very generic Route 1 rhyming structure. So, and I know that's harsh because it's very personal to her, but it feels like when they translated it into English, if it wasn't wrote in English, it's just kind of like, well, this fits, let's just do that. But yeah, they need something memorable on stage, because the song is okay, her voice is very, very good. But if other people around her have more engaging staging or better vocals or just a better song, you're going to forget this. So I'm not sure how this is going to do. I think the jury will have it in the top 10. Will the public? I'm not sure.
Thank you, Elliot. I've got a feeling this will be really strong on stage. She's a phenomenal vocalist, by the way. Oban, is this the kind of song, the way it's structured, the way it's been composed, can you see this being the kind of song that they can do a lot with creatively on stage?
Stu, I don't want to talk about that because this is the problem that I have with the Eurovision fandom, because it's just disappointing when we dive into the calculations, how it's gonna play out, or when we try to play the Eurovision game. It's like as if it's just all about calculation and mathematics, and this is not gonna play the first 2 minutes, last 2 minutes, the staging, the headpiece. This is a phenomenal song. Can we just sit back, relax, forget that it's Eurovision? Yes, it's a competition. Yes, someone has to win. Yes, countries and artists need to collect points. I understand that. But can we just sit back and enjoy these 3 minutes? Because it's an amazing storytelling, and for a country and for an artist who's not English's native language, and still articulate her message so beautifully. And then the visual, the story in the video clip, and this is the first song, and I think maybe there's a 1 or 2 more songs. It just gives me a hard time to breathe. Like, it's just, I'm like this heavy feeling on my chest. There's just like, it's just like overwhelming with emotions, and I just want to cry. And I freaking love the song. What she wants to do on stage, it's her problem about how competitive she feels. But I think even if she just put a chair on the middle of a stage and just sing her heart out, I think she will make herself proud and she will give us a beautiful 3 minutes.
Thank you, Oben. Very beautiful indeed. So in terms of the composure of the song, it was composed by Darko Dimitrov, who we saw in the little banners fly up a few minutes ago, who has written some real good Eurovision entries, in fact. Back in 2006, he wrote Nina Na Na Na. I could probably mispronounce it. I remember seeing that live in the stadium, but it definitely didn't sound like that. Tamara Todevska's entry in 2019, which we know how that did for North Macedonia. And weirdly produced Loco Loco for Hurricane for Serbia last year. So there's some real there's a real collection of songs going on there. But this song, I think, has been really well written. I think when it comes down to it, I think this will go down as one of the best composed entries of this year. Will it translate on stage, though, for Michelle?
Yeah, I think in my notes, even though Oben didn't say it, I put it's a pure cultural orgasm. I think...
Cheers, everyone. Just to pause a second for Michelle. If you had cultural orgasm on your ESC Fan TV bingo card, now is the moment for you.
But you get double points if I said it. I don't know, there was something about it. And I liked it. And I wasn't sure why I liked it. And I think they're going to do it. The staging, they're going to go all out because they will. It's Montenegro. And it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. I think there's something fierce looking about her. I think she's going to look quite fierce on stage. But I don't know. There was something about this song. And I just thought it sounded as if Montenegro was singing it. And I just loved everything about it. And I don't know why. It's not my usual cup of tea. But there was just something about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea normally either, this type of music, but
Are you going to agree with me?
no, I am going to agree with you because I sort of
If you
agree
had
with
that on your
Martin.
bingo.
I sort of agree with Martin. He does take like a verse or two to get going, but there's a lot of other songs that do that as well this year.
Yeah.
Once the drums kick in and it gets going, it's a powerful song, and she has got a cracking voice, and she does not belt it out.
And
But,
she's
yeah.
not bad looking, but that helps as well.
And I think she probably could perform this well. She's probably got a good stage presence. So
I think
yeah.
I'm going to go all out and say, Philip, that I've got a tenner on it.
Ooh, I won't go that far.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, it's good. It's a good sort of
It won't come anywhere because me and Phil agree.
Consigned it to doom. Thank you very much, Phil and Michelle. Tom, it's been a long time since Montenegro did anything at Eurovision. The highest they've ever finished was 11th with Nez back in 2015. I think this is probably Montenegro's best ever entry. I'd go as far as to say that. You're going to disagree with me, obviously, because 2019 was clearly your favourite song of Eurovision ever. This go somewhere?
Nothing lives up to Bobby Socks. You know this. Don't even pretend you don't know. Don't sit there in blissful ignorance.
I remember how you felt about D-Mol. Does this stand a chance of qualifying? And tell me what you think of it.
Right, it does stand a chance of qualifying. There is one big thing, and I always think it is something that it puts it in the danger zone for me. And it's the fact that, as you said, it beautifully transitions from this really big ballad into a mid-tempo thing. Phil then said the song really gets going when the drums kick in. Basically, you've got a minute of one song and then 2 minutes of another song and a transition between them. And here's the problem, because I quite like it and I think it works quite well. As far as transitions go, it nails it. However, if I was to look at it from another perspective, there are songs that have done that in the past that have faltered because basically, let's face it, the majority of the people watching Eurovision are not diehard fans like us. They're quite a fickle bunch, and they'll listen to it and they'll listen to the big ballad bit, and if it's too slow and doesn't pick up enough for them, they won't vote for it. When the drums kick in, it's too late and the vote's already lost and they won't pick up the phone. And therefore there's a problem. Personally, I think it does the job quite well, but I think it's got a real danger. And the danger, I mean, I'm almost getting slight vibes, although it's a different song entirely, is Thane Eratos from Cyprus in 1999. Had a very, very slow start, and then it kicked in, and it propped up the bottom of the scoreboard. And I wouldn't like to see that happen to this song. I think she's a far better singer, and I think the song has real gravitas and things like that. But I do think they need to be aware of that, and in the presentation of the song, they're going to need to actually make sure that they prepare the viewer and everything for that as they go through, because I think that's the way that they will pick up the points.
Agreed. Thank you very much for that, Tom. Panel, you know what to do. And those in the chat room, tell us whether you think Montenegro is a qualifier, a non-qualifier, or not really sure. It's kind of in the middle. 3, 2, 1. Solid there today. Okay, again, it's mixed. It's mixed, isn't it? There's a lot of love for tonight's first 5 songs. We're moving on. This is North Macedonia with Andrea and Circles. North Macedonia have competed 20 times at Eurovision. Last year they were represented by, and I feel like I might cry, the wonderful Vassal and Here I Stand. Their highest ever placing was 2019 with Tamara Tolevska, and 7th place. This is very much mid-tempo pop. It's kind of cool. It's kind of modern. I like it. I don't know why I like it, but I really, really do. And if this is for those who are like myself, they're sort of the more kind of mature panelist or perhaps mature audience member. Andrea was born on the first Valentine's Day of the new millennium. That makes me feel very, very old. Yeah, I know, Michelle. I know. I cried when I read that. Circles will perform in the second half of semi-final 2. So, alongside Montenegro that we just heard, or at least near to. I get Serbuk, I'm Walking Out vibes to this. Very similar kind of songs for me. Let's find out what my panel says. Let's go to Martin first. Martin, what do you make of this one?
I really like this one. I have done right from the national final when they had the 6 videos for everyone to vote on. And I get this vibe, obviously this might mean nothing to anybody outside the UK. I get the feeling it's a bit like a character from EastEnders, the way she was dressed, puffer jacket, and that she's just having an argument with her partner, pushed them away, and then she launches into the song. And basically that was the vibe I was getting, sort of, really angst, real aggression. The revamp's done something to the end which I don't think works quite as well, but I really love this song. I really love her attitude. It's whether that comes across well or badly to people watching it, really. It's all about the song, all about the lyrics, really, and how she presents it. I don't know how well this is going to do. I want it to get through to the final, but it's one that I could easily see not get to the final. It's sort of, either way, really. It might just depend on what else is happening on the night.
Thanks, Martin. I think the problem with mid-tempo songs, and it is a bit of a plodder. It's a really, really good song, by the way. I do like it, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say that, but it does plod along. And I do worry about how they're going to stage this. I'm going to our chief choreographer, Mr. Elliot, here, for his thoughts. How do you make a song this good? And by the way, she has a great vocal. You can go and find her. Loads of videos of her on YouTube. How do you make this work on a Eurovision stage? Because so many artists have kind of crashed and burned with this type of song in the past.
It's difficult because, as we said, it's sort of in that mid-tempo range of death, and by that it means like a lot of songs get knocked out or don't do well, or in that sort of mid-tempo feeling. It's not a big ballad, it's not an up-tempo, it's just kind of there. I think the emotion needs to really come across on her face, so I think they need to really focus in on that. I think they do need to dress her down and make her look like, as Martin said, she is singing like walking down the street, because they need to have that. It's a real song, and some people will relate to these lyrics, as naff as some of them are, like, lately, crazy. Like, again, it's a bit like Montenegro. The rhyming is a bit one note, but it is a relatable song. It is relatable lyrically, and they need to drive that bit home. I have no idea how this is going to do. The revamp has improved it and made it sound a little bit more commercial. They've changed the tempo. They put a bit more of a different drum in the background. So they have elevated it. It was the best song in the national final, considering Superman nearly won that national final. And oh my dear God, if that was going to Eurovision, I know some of this panel would be delighted. I would have jumped out the window thinking, how is this a Eurovision song? But I digress. There is potential for this to be something really good on stage. And I have no qualms that she will deliver the absolute best she can do. If it is strong enough to stand out, I do not know. I like the song. I think it's a real message. I think it's good. It's not false. It's not contrived. It's not preachy. It's real. But they need to deliver that on stage. That has to come across. And, you know, in the past, North Macedonia have struggled with some staging, like in 2018. So I do worry in that aspect. But I am wishing her all the best because she is a good singer. It's a good song. They just need to make it about her.
Agreed. You know, I like where North Macedonia are going. I think they're probably one of the most improved countries in Eurovision. Was a triumph for me. I thought that was a stunning effort. 2021, Vassal, musical theatre at its absolute best. Okay, didn't qualify, but it was stunning on stage. This is, I think, one of the coolest entries this year. I'll go on record to say that. I think they've got to get the staging right, but I think as a song, it's very commercial. Oban, does this meet your seal of approval? Would it go on your cultural orgasm playlist? That means another drink, people.
Well, that's not a cultural orgasm. Here I said it, double shots. So I've been sleeping on this song for a very long time until like a couple of weeks ago when we were with talking with Domi, and she was mentioning her experience meeting her at the Romanian national final, and I was just like, and she was giving all these nice compliments about her personality. You know, it seems like she's a very lovely girl. So then I went back and listened a couple more times, and it's like, you know what? It's not a bad song. And I think the best part of the song is that her lower key beginning, like it's a very deep, very low key entrance to the song, and I think it's gonna grab the attention. It's just like, hold on, that's almost a male sound, like a male vocals, like a very low baritone key. So I think her voice is the most intriguing part of the song for sure. And but I think it's not the song that's gonna grab the attention of the Balkan juries and also the Balkan televotes. So I think this is a song that's gonna be liked by the Western public, but I think that considering that Serbia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Romania basically in the same semi-final, I think the votes will go to Vladana, Montenegro, and that will be the biggest handicap in terms of Eurovision mathematics to this song.
Thank you, Oban. And keep your comments coming in. Great comments in the chat room, guys, all talking about the very interesting national final in North Macedonia and what they... You know, it was an interesting season, actually. Lots of different countries had their own ideas on how they were to choose their song. A lot of use of video and less use of live performance, live staging in 2022. Tom, what are your thoughts on Circles by Andrea for North Macedonia?
I think they've got to be careful with the staging of it. I like the song. I think the revamp's brilliant. I love it. And I think one of the things that endears you to the song in the video is that she's got this slightly edgy thing going along. As Elliot said, the walking through the streets and things like that. As Martin said, the kind of puffer jacket. I think, yeah, any UK fan may kind of associate a puffer jacket with a certain character from EastEnders. But there's that certain grittiness and edginess that she adds to the song. And that is what makes a mid-tempo song stand out, because you've got to elevate it somehow, and that is how they will do it. So what I'd quite like to see is I'd quite like to see this song presented in a vibe that kind of encompasses that. Whether they, I mean, and I'm not entirely sure what the video screen situation and everything will be in Turin, but wouldn't it be nice to see her actually look like she's walking through the streets in a non-cheesy way? I mean, they can do, you know, realistic videos these days. I'm not thinking Guy Sebastian. I'm thinking something more like Nuble Pas had as their background a few years ago as well. And I'm thinking of an outfit that is possibly not that dissimilar to what she's wearing in the video. But for the love of God, please don't wear something like Elliot did in his semi-final in, was it 2019 for Wake Up? It needs to have that kind of gravitas and that kind of grittiness, which will encapsulate it. And I reckon it could do really well. And I reckon North Macedonia could actually be looking at a top 10 finish with this year.
Thank you, Tom. And I must apologise to our European or global audience if they're wondering what the hell an EastEnders is. I have to do this sometimes. Just to be clear on context, it's a UK soap opera, there you go, called EastEnders. I'm just people all over Europe are going, what the hell is an EastEnder? Let me Google it after the show. Keep your comments coming in, people, and make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe and, most importantly, ding along our bell. That's it, our notification bell. Just give it a little ting, ting, which means when we go live for our show on Wednesday, you will get notified and you can come and join the chat room. One song left, but before we get there, panel, thumbs up, thumbs down. No, I'm not coming to you yet, Phil and Michelle. No, I'm not coming to you. It's not allowed. I saw that. Of course I won't forget you. North Macedonia, Circles by Andrea.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, me neither. No, to be honest, I thought this was another one that takes a verse to really get going. I expect when the chorus kicks in, but it's just not for me. I'm sorry. Maybe that's because I'm old, but I found it a bit of a plod. I mean, you mentioned it was a plod. But she's got a good voice, and with the right staging, it could do well. But it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, she has a really good voice. It's probably one for the youth. It's not my cup of tea, but there will be a dance remix that I am looking forward to.
Yeah, is that another nod to Seventh Heaven? Yeah, probably. There will be. Every single song will be remixed at some stage of the contest. No doubt, because hey, we all need a bop to dance into the cough cough Euro Club that we can't wait to see in Turin this year. Yeah, right. Okay, moving on to our last song of the evening. We're going to the Czech Republic. Czech Republic, relative newcomers in Eurovision this year. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. Thumbs up, thumbs down, or in the middle. What are we thinking, people? North Macedonia, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to go qualify. There you go. I think there's more. No, it's still pretty mixed, I would say. There you go. Nearly forgot that. Right, Czech Republic, newcomers of Eurovision, 9 appearances. Their highest finish has been 6th back in 2018. And they didn't do too badly with Lake Malawi the year after. This year, they are represented even by We Are Domi, which is a bit of a mix of Czech Republic and Norway, by the way, if you hadn't already caught up. Lights Off is a bop and will take place in the second half of semi-final 2. We Are Domi were actually one of the first songs selected this year, and they've remixed it recently. If you haven't caught up, you need to go and take a listen because it has tweaked slightly. Let's go to Elliot. Elliot, you love a bop, especially something that's kind of is on the EBM sort of spectrum. What are your thoughts on this?
Do you mean to say EDM then? You got your letters wrong.
EDM, yeah, sorry. EDM, not EBM. EBM probably means something completely different.
I don't want to know. This, from first listen, I loved. I wanted it to win a national final. It's the one national final winner I got right until Sweden. It's been my winner right up until 2 more songs came out in the last week. I adore this song. I think it's brilliant. It's electro, it's pop. Dominika is a phenomenal singer. The revamp has given it a bit more light and shade to it, which I think it needed. I just think it's a really current, amazing piece of music. And it's very clever. He's playing the violin on the guitar at one point. So it's made a different sort of instrument. It's just really clever and it's just a good, fun song. But there's emotion behind it. There's power. There's drive. I really want this to do well. I really, really, really want this to do well. You can see when she performed it in Romania, where they debuted the revamp, that she was having an in-ear problem. So she missed one or two of the marks, and she still sounded fine. And that was with terrible mixing and in-ear problems. The only thing that will let this song down live is when it does do the dance break, which happens about 2 or 3 times, if they don't do something. We have seen but so many times before, most notably Blackbird, nothing happened on stage for about 45 seconds while she just stood there with a piano instrumental, and it suffered because of it. So something needs to keep happening on stage, whether it's the lighting, wide shots, her bouncing around, the energy needs to keep up, and then the Czech Republic could do very, very, very well. But yeah, this is in my top 3 of the year. I love this song. I want it so much to do well, and I will be voting for it in the semi-final because I can.
I think it's a really good song, actually. Again, another really strong commercial song. The only problem is with this type of genre, and thank you, EDM, not EBM, what was I thinking? Gromi tried this with Light Me Up in 2018. Then a year later, we had Finland with Darude and Sebastian with Look Away, and all those type of songs, as much as we love them, really struggle live, and I don't know why. They really struggle on a Eurovision platform. Is this going to be third time lucky? Let's go to Phil and Michelle.
Yeah, I like this. It's another one where the verse is a bit subdued and then it kicks in, but it's a good, once it gets going, it's a good solid dance bop. I love this song, it's great.
It's Glow Sticks Ahoy! I bloody love it. You all remember in the 90s when I took huge amounts of drugs and went dancing in clubs. Well, this is it. Oh my God. I absolutely think that this is amazing. I love everything about it, and I can't wait to see the staging with the glow sticks and everything. Well, yeah, if she needs a bag full, I've got a bag full of glow sticks if she needs them. I think this is going to absolutely top 10, easy.
Well, okay. Now, a man who not only loves this song and has recently spent a bit of time in the Czech Republic, but he's also in the blimmin' video. It's Oben.
Yeah, we got that part. It's me you're talking about. Not kidding. Like, as soon as you show their picture, like when it was the time to talk about it, I just like, my heart started pounding. It's just like, I think I don't get this excited when it's like we're talking about Cyprus, and I don't know why. It's this recently adopted hometown, Czech Republic. I'm so excited about this song, and as you can see, I'm almost speechless. And from the beginning, I really like this song, and then when we get to spend time with this trio, I just freaking fell in love with these people. It's just the nicest and the coolest people, and I see some of my friends from the shooting are also joined in watching us tonight. So big shout out to them as well, for Kuba and Barbara. So they genuinely deserve the world. They genuinely deserve the best, and I think this song is going to be a good tool to achieve everything they want and they dream as for their career. And this song is genius. This song, the chemistry, the build up, the lyrics, the acting, and we are still expecting that they will be bringing up some controversial staging. They slipped it. So everyone who are listening to this show, this is a top secret. They weren't supposed to tell this to us, but they did. So here I share it with all of you. But anyway, I can't wait to this year to be the first year that I carry a second flag with me in the host city. And I'm afraid that I might be rooting a little bit slightly more for Czech Republic than I do for Cyprus. I know.
We're going to have to edit that bit, I think. We're going to have to pull that out as its own little segment. Thank you, Oben. And it's delightful to see it in a music video. It's great that you were able to be involved.
For a millisecond, but I'm there.
Doesn't matter.
You can stop it and watch me there.
Well, you know, But that's that backdrop you have there with your little face. Oh, bless him. It's good to see you, Oban, and it's great to see you in a music video. The last time I saw you on TV, it was Crime Watch. Anyway, moving on to Martin. Martin, I think this is a really cool entry, and I'm praying that this does well, because we've seen songs like this crash and burn in the last few years. It's about time we see a really good song that's of the same genre do well at Eurovision. Is this the year, do you think?
Well, first thing to say is that I'll probably be supporting this one more than Cyprus, but a bit of a spoiler alert because this one I think is better. But yeah, this is a great track. There's not really much like it in its semi-final. It's all about Dominica up front. I mean, you've got Casper and Benjamin behind, but all the focus is on her. And from the national final videos, she was spot on. She's got stage presence. You know, she's watchable. So I think that this is a qualifier for sure. How well it will do after that, I don't know. It's going to be great for Euro clubs and Euro discos from now on. It's always going to be played every night. So yeah, I really like it. And I think it's going to do pretty well. You know, and it really would just depend on the staging. And in a way, they haven't really varied it much from what we saw in the national final, what we saw in the Romanian national final. Obviously, Oban sounds as though we've got something more to come, which will be interesting to see. So.
I think they've definitely the revamp. There's a section in the middle of the song which lends itself to some really cool staging, which I guess we're going to find out soon enough. Tom, wrap this up. Is this a hit for Czech Republic in 2022, do you think?
Of course it's a hit. This is brilliant. This is amazing. This is upbeat. This is radio friendly. This is commercial friendly. This is, dare I say it, there's an element of kind of like almost like a Lady Gaga type vibe to some of the beat that runs through this. This is fantastic. This is exactly the type of stuff that we want to see at Eurovision. And I think it's going to do really well. I enjoy it. It's a great bop and it's radio friendly. And I'd love to see what they're going to do with those little interludes, those little dance bits there. Because as Elliot said, we don't want to see them just kind of sat on the stage for, you know, not doing anything for sort of like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds or whatever. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. It'd be nice, dare I say it. And I know sometimes people are a bit like, you know, we're introducing more and more Sweden to Eurovision. But we think about like I Can't Go On had the hook with like the treadmills and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be cool to see some kind of hook and stuff in that song, just to try and capture the audience's attention for it? Because I think it's got the potential to do incredibly well. And I think it certainly is going to be a bop that everyone's going to be getting down to in May.
Thank you, Tom. And thank you, panel. Before we say goodbye, is this it sounds like we know what the answer is going to be. Is it a hit, a miss, or a maybe? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. It's a hit. There we go. It's no shock, is it? 6 hits. Let's say huge thank you to the panel, and especially to the chat room. 300 or more of you talking live, watching live, whichever you're doing. Thank you for joining us this evening. Click the like button, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and ding a dong our bell. Huge thank you to Martin from the Let Me Be The One blog and podcast.
Yes, thank you very much. Been enjoyable. Lots more of these to come, people. So keep watching.
Big thank you to Phil and Michelle.
Thank you. Bye. It's been great again. Thank you.
Huge thank you to Elliot.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And don't forget, guys, the nominations are out soon. We are nominating, but you decide the winner. But pick one of mine, please. But thank you. It's been great fun. I can't wait to do this again.
That's right. We will be relaunching the ESC Fan TV Awards very, very soon, and you get to decide the winners. We'll let you know on our social when we're ready to give you the chance to vote. Huge thank you to Oban.
Dobre večer, Karinihda. I loved tonight. Thanks all for joining and keeping us company. Good evening.
And before I say a very good evening to my co-host, a reminder that you can join us on Wednesday evening live. Of course we're live. We're always live when we talk about Albania, Denmark, Ukraine, current favourites to win Eurovision, Moldova and Latvia. Or you can join us on the 26th for Belgium, Malta, Iceland, Israel and Estonia. And many more. We'll update this and update and share with you at each show. So keep tuned. Most importantly, keep tuned. Tom, wonderful show. Great to see you back.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and I'm just gonna reach in, just grab the keys from you there, because I know you're not going to be here for a couple of shows because you're going to be off on hollybobs.
Hopefully, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, going to get some sun finally. Yeah, listen. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. Thanks to the chat room. There's a lot going on, Tom, hasn't there, in the chat room tonight?
There's been loads going on in the chat room. Thank you to every single person that's contributed, and look forward to seeing you there again on Wednesday evening. Same time, same place.
Yeah, make sure you follow us all over social. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, of course we're on YouTube. You know we're on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're also on others as well. Go and follow us on Twitter. Until then, we will see you very, very soon. We'll see you through the week. Bye bye from us.